fortunate enough to see him in the flesh in Chicago when he participated in the Basketball Without Borders. He was not particularly the best player there. He was not a standout because, of course, a lot of those kids are from all over the world, and just a handful of them are the best from the U.S. And he still held his own, though. Of course, I mean, I could see he's stronger, he's tougher. He seemed to be smarter on the court compared to when I last saw him play in competitive varsity games in Ateneo.
As far as just personality goes and his work ethic and his IQ and the things that he's about, just being a great kid first and foremost. He's definitely rare. There's a lot of players have what he has, maybe not the full package at this age, but he's got great size, really good touch with both hands. The surprising thing is how athletic he is for his size. Very athletic, can pass, he can shoot the three, he can score at all three levels. He can play the four, he can play the five, he can play inside, he can play outside. He could beat you with his passing. He's a rim protector.
For me, what impressed me the most was his skill, was his IQ, his basketball intelligence, how he could read plays, how he would do this. Grabe, it was leaps and bounds above everyone else. Yes, he's tall, but his IQ is, surprising talaga.
What really sets Kai apart, even when you range him against yung mga ibang matatangkad na players din, in the Philippines that are in his generation, he's a student of the game. He knows the tendencies of his opponents. Pinag-aaralan niya yung kalaban niya, matupad yung mga kakampi niya. Every time we have a pre-game session, scouting session against, our next opponent, he would be really focused on listening. Parang siyang sponge. Ina-absorb talaga niya yung sinasabi ng mga coaches, yung mga scouting report, all those things. And he wants to give himself the best chance to succeed. I know that sounds like a cliche, pero ganun si Kaya. He doesn't, for someone like him na may size at may skill set na, very rarely seen here in the country, it's easy to be tempted na maging tamad or complacent. Pero si Kai, hindi siya ganun eh. Talagang focused siya.
During that time when we were together in China, the reason why he was chosen as one of the all-stars, it's really not just his height. His height kind of allowed him to do a lot of other things, more easy. So, rebounding and being able to give his team second chances and getting his hands on the ball. But you could tell already that he had the full skill set. So as a big guy, he's able to dribble, able to make good passes, very unselfish. He knows when to make passes. So that's something that's crucial early in your career as a big guy. You're going to be double teamed. You're going to be triple teamed. It's never going to be an easy attempt for you, right? There's always going to be guys around you. And he knew how to make that extra pass. And then when his teammate took a shot, he went for the offensive rebound. So you knew he had it, and he deserved it.
Of course, I agree dun sa decision niya. I support him 110% for someone who has been there, a developmental player. It's not going to be easy, but definitely it's going to be a challenge for Kai. He's a young stud. He's gonna go up for the challenge. 120 million Filipinos are behind his back supporting him to becoming the first Filipino-born NBA player. So kami naman, all here sa Pilipinas, is just full support lang talaga sa kanya, and hopefully he continues to pursue his dream.
He's gonna already be playing at the guys who are knocking at the door of the NBA. So he's gonna be able to experience playing with these guys. So don't get me wrong, he's gonna be challenged. This isn't gonna be easy for him because he's gonna be still that young, skinny guy that's gonna need to adjust to the way they play. So again, that's a whole new level. He's a standout where he is now. That's no question. He can compete with the guys that he's playing against now. So I think his parents, especially Irv Sotto, is former teammate of mine. He's doing a great job in preparing him for this path. I think this past year, year and a half of him being in the States has given him just a glimpse, an idea of the competition level. And if I may say, I'm really happy that he got away from all that politics that's here. You know, he could have easily stayed. You know, there's I'm sure there were offers here where life would be comfortable here, but that goal of making the NBA was something that never tarnished. That was always there. So you know, I give it to his parents for helping him make that dream come true and taking that step of moving to the States. That was crucial. So now he's going to be challenged with another group of guys. And if he gets through this, if he's able to showcase that he's able to adjust and do what's expected of him as a big guy in the G League, then I see no worries and no problem with him being able to give an opportunity come NBA.
I think so. I mean, it's quite obvious because he will have a legit NBA coach and NBA coaching staff training him and the rest of those high school standouts nonstop. He won't have to worry about school and the stress of college academics and making the grade to play in the NCAA. And from what I know, and this is part of the discussions I've had about my dream for him to make it here for the last 2 years, when people say US NCAA versus Europe, more people were leaning towards Europe because they kept saying Europe you can train all year round. In the US and the NCAA, there's so many limitations in terms of rules and limitations of how long they can train, when they can train. They cannot train in the off season, things like that. So with the G League, I think it really is a more comprehensive approach, a very professional approach as compared to collegiate. And in college, at the end of the day, the coach there wants to win. They want to win games for the school. They want to make it to the NCAA tournament. It's not the focus of each individual player really is, finally targeted to improve in all aspects of their game and their physique and all that. And that's the promise of the G League. I just saw the interview of G League President Sharif Abdurrahim, and that's what he promised for Kai. That's what they're going to provide for all these players, Jalen Green and Kai as well, that they are all being taken care of individually. It's not about the team. It's not about, and he compared this Pathways Select team compared to the other 28 teams in the G League. He goes, those teams, they have team owners. They want it to be sustainable as well. They want to win. And partly they will favor a handful of players because they want those players to really get better and eventually be called up to their mother teams in the NBA. So they'll get the minutes, they'll get the shots and all that, and the plays will be called for them. But with this G League select team, from what I hear for now, is that the focus is for each one of them to really be targeted to improve and be brought up to the next level, to be as ready as they can to make it to the NBA draft come next year.
He has to develop. Well, he had all the skills naman. It was a matter of harnessing them. It was a matter of making them, polishing them more. But for me, if there's one thing he has to work on, it's his footwork. The way he runs pa rin. I think it's from the highlights I see from his games when I watch, naiwan pa rin siya sa pick and roll. When his opponent set him up on a pick and roll, naiwan pa rin siya.
Siguro if Kai has like an Achilles heel or a chink in his armor, it's that when he was in the Philippines at least, ginagawa ng maraming kalaban niya na sobrang mas maliit sa kanya, tinutukuran siya sa may thigh, sa may tuhod, sa may lower back, para talagang mahirapan si Kai to shift his weight around, mahirapan siyang to exploit his size. They cut him low, they cut him low, parang gano'n yung ginagawa sa kanya. And now that he's in the States, ang mga makakalaban niya hindi mas maliit, but maybe as big as him, as tall as him, as long as him, but more athletic, wider maybe, bigger bodies. So that toughness has to be improved.
It's going to be a little bit more physical. Down there, of course, you're going to play against guys probably close to your height or heavier than you, and most definitely mas mature sa katawan niya. No, it's different even if you're 7'3", but you're just 17 years old, and then coming into the G League, you're battling it out against 6'10", 28, 30-year-olds. But, kaya ni Kayon, he's up to the challenge. I've talked to the guy ever since we stay connected, just kahit kamustahan lang. And, just him with the doubters, I'm sure he knows how to handle it. He was raised well by his parents and born for this type of challenge and making his dream come true.
Strength. So you got to get bigger, right? You got to understand that the physicality in that level is different. So understand that again, that this level is already guys who are knocking at the door of the NBA. So his strength is important. Okay, and then the last one I'd say is mobility. Mobility. He's got to be a quicker and a faster big guy. So he's going to be expected to kind of be around the paint and to be like the last line of defense and to be there to help his teammates when needed. He's going to be there obviously for all the rebounds. But I would say work on your mobility and be a little faster and get to the spot that you need to. I think those two things are crucial in his position, especially at that level. It's going to allow him to be a better defensive player. It's going to allow him to be stronger, be able to withstand, all the physicality, all the pushing and the holding, and still be able to get to the spot that he needs to. Skills-wise, there's already a lot of coaches helping him. So he's going to improve on his post-up move. He's going to improve on his jump shot and go-to move. So that's going to be there. So if he can improve on his strength and his mobility, then I think he really has a good chance.
Siguro he needs to really bulk up kasi iba na yung competition doon. Mas matatanda na, mas skilled, mas magagaling. Pero, ayun, tiwala naman ako kay matalinong player si Kai. Skilled. Kaya, wala ka nang poproblemahin doon. Talagang yung katawan niya na lang talaga.
First off, I'm always proud of him. Sobrang layo na ng narating niya. Well, like we always say, like I always say, just keep your feet on the ground. Stay grounded. Diba? Remember your family first, and always lift everything to the Lord. Then remember, just keep on working hard. For me, kasi ako, lagi ko sinasabi kay Kai, 2 words lang, Kai Mamba mentality.
Don't lose track of your biggest goals, so to speak. No, I remember kasi when I was with Batangilas in the FIBA World Cup 2 years ago, roommate ko for 3 weeks si Irvin Sotto. And aside from mahilig mag-Mobile Legends yan si Irvin but aside from that, pag nag-uusap kami, ang talagang sinasabi niya si Kai, syempre gusto mag-NBA, pero ayaw niyang iwan yung parang duty niya sa Philippines. He knows that pag naka-NBA si Kai, alam ni Kai na dala-dala niya yung buong bansa sa NBA. But gusto rin ni Kai to continue representing the Philippines in every international competition as much as possible. Of course, that's going to be more challenging once he does get to the NBA with all the other, complications, contracts, whatever. But si Kai, he really wants to represent the country, and I hope he never loses that that desire, that passion to do so. Kai, aside from the skills, the size, the basketball IQ, malaki rin yung puso nung batang yan and lumalabas yon sa desire niya to continue repping the country wherever he goes, whether it's the NBA, Batangilas, any other FIBA event. And I hope he never loses that. And siguro, when you get to the G League, I'm sure in the NBA, there are going to be so many other distractions. One other thing that makes Kai so special is, unlike some other not so mature players, si Kai really wala yung mga distractions, that will derail him. Whatever those distractions are, he's really zeroed in on his goals, and I hope he continues to be that focused on achieving those goals and those dreams for him, his family, and for the country.
Continue to have patience in the process. Understand that he feels a lot of pride, which can in turn become pressure, even if it's positive pressure, because he wants to do so well for his country, for his family. He always mentions his brothers, his cousins, the people back home. He takes a lot of pride, and he knows what's on his back. But nothing comes overnight. So if he just continues to put the work in that he's been putting in, and keeps his spirit where it's been at, and he just has he's just a beautiful person. If he just continues to do that and has the support behind him, and whether he plays the best game of his life or he plays the worst game of his life, just having that continued support will go a long way for him, because it is a process and a journey, but he's definitely on track.
Hey, idol, saludo ko sa iyo sa ginagawa mo. Proud na proud kami mga Pilipino dahil sa pagsubaybay ng journey mo. Gusto ko lang sabihin na lagi lang nandito. Yung mga sumusuporta sa'yo, lagi lang nandito. Alam mo naman na isang message mo lang, lagi kitang sasagutin kung kailangan mo ng tulong dyan. Always be happy with your decisions. It's going to be life-changing. And always stay humble.